The following is a presentation of Consumer Energy Alliance.
ENERGY. Energy! Energy!
Hello everyone, I'm Tom Abrams and welcome to Energy Day 2012. From energy-saving innovations of today,
it's called the Storm Cell,
to the energy inventors of tomorrow.
This is Houston in 2050.
This Saturday's Energy Day Festival is specifically designed to inspire young minds to pursue careers in energy. Our preview begins right now.
Energy!
Energy Day 2012, brought to you by Consumer Energy Alliance and the University of Houston.
What can you do that might not be as easy for me to do at this point?
At Oak Forest Elementary School, the fourth graders in Mr. Church's class are talking energy.
Think about your future and think about what you might be able to do.
It's hard to describe because there are multiple names for energy.
Wind turbines, solar panels, water, oil, coal.
I prefer solar panels better because it will take a long time before the sun burns out.
But these 9 and 10-year-olds are talking about more than how to generate energy. They're also brainstorming about how to save it.
If you save energy, you can use it a lot more later. You can also save energy by not turning on your lights during the day.
Still, these brilliant young students aren't the only ones in Houston with an opportunity to look critically at how best to harness and use one of our most precious resources.
Well, this year we're focusing on opportunities for the future, and it's all about reaching out to those next generations.
David Holt is the founder of this coming Saturday's Energy Day, the first of its kind festival and educational fair that in its second year is aimed directly at young minds like those in Mr. Church's class.
I would invent something that would make power like unstoppable or something.
We're looking to have a real exciting kind of hands-on day for kids and their families. We want to make sure that we're educating our kids and developing good scientists and engineers now and well into the future, and energy holds a lot of promise in that.
This year's Energy Day will be larger than the last, with 80 vendors and exhibitors, each of them explaining and demonstrating the ways in which Houston is the present and future king of all things energy. Among the new participants is Freedom Solar Power.
So to be able to get out and interact with the community and be able to answer questions and be able to explain what solar is, what the opportunity is, and break down kind of the value proposition is something we're really looking forward to doing.
This is not just about private industry, though. The City of Houston is a major partner of Energy Day 2012.
This event, it's an all-day event, is particularly geared toward elementary and middle school students to give them an idea of what makes Houston run, but what makes our world run. We hope that we can excite them about potential careers in STEM areas, science, technology, engineering, and math. It's a fun, interactive day.
It's not just a one-day thing for the city, though. Mayor Parker says she wants a Houston that embraces all forms of energy and conservation. Laura Spangen is the city's sustainability director.
You know, many people think of Houston as the oil and gas capital of the world. That is very much a part of our economy. But we also want to be considered the green capital of the United States.
The city is, in fact, involved in an effort to create a climate action plan.
Oh, good evening.
We were at a meeting in June where the community and various governmental agencies further crystallized that collaboration to push Houston into a powerful and cleaner future.
I think people generally support the idea of clean air and clean water and more green space, but we don't really know what we should start working on tomorrow.
That is where Energy Day really defines itself.
The best barrel of oil is that barrel we don't use.
A gathering point for those on all sides of the energy and conservation equation. A place where young minds are engaged. Young minds already willing to find a better way for all of us.
It looks really easy to do solar power since most of the time it's normally really sunny outside.
Children are the future of energy.
And children are the primary focus of Energy Day 2012.
Energy Day is a family fun festival trying to teach kids about all forms of energy through games and prizes and demonstrations and stuff they can put their hands on and get their feet wet.
The main purpose is to encourage young students to get involved in math and science and to eventually lead to a career in energy, whether that's solar, wind, or traditional oil and gas.
Because no matter how you spell it,
ENEGI
E-R-G-Y.
Energy powers our daily lives.
Energy is such a huge aspect of everything we do, from the lipstick we wear to the plastic on our laptops to our cell phones. It's part of everything we do. So when you bring kids out here, they put that together and they process that, and it's really neat to see that aha moment in their head when they get that.
We're having children explore, can they bounce bubbles with their hands, and the science behind why they cannot. Electromagnetism, they're building solar cars, they have a solar powerhouse that they're building, so we're having them build with Legos, just discover science in a fun way so they can understand what they're learning in the classroom, how it applies to the real world.
So the City in a Box, we show that it's natural gas, oil, wind power. It's all these different types of things that we need to power up a city. So the kids are able to go around and turn the wheel and roll the drum, move the lever, and all those things power the different types of energy, and in the end you see the city gets lit up.
We have partnered with the University of Texas Geoforce students, and they are out here giving examples of the Earth's core, so kids can get their hands dirty and actually make samples of the Earth's core. It's really neat.
We have a couple of activities for kids back here, a fossil dig and a sand art activity, so they can learn a little bit about geologic formations, where oil and gas comes from.
But it's not just the kids who walk away with new knowledge.
I always learn something new. I mean, I've been around energy for a long time, but I always learn something new. Up the way is a lemon and potato booth, and lemons and potatoes together can create energy. Who knew that? I didn't know that before today.
This downtown festival isn't just about traditional forms of energy, oil and gas. It's also about alternative forms, how we use them and conserve them both now and in the future.
I learned about solar power.
This is a solar attic fan. It's energized totally by the sun. No wires, no nothing. Just put it up there and it works.
This is a solar water heater. It's a good example of green energy for the future, because this will primarily use the wonderful Texas sun to do the heating rather than electricity.
My wife's in the petroleum industry, and we brought them out to see what their mom does at work. Girls are becoming more and more prominent in engineering. We try to encourage them to excel in math so that they can make good choices and be in the industries and professions they want to be in.
They get their hands dirty, they get excited about math and science.
Energy!
Energy Day's year-long academic program is highlighted by a number of student competitions. One of them in particular, the Young Inventors Showcase of Houston, asks those budding inventors to take their ideas to the next level. Rebecca Spera explains.
What is energy? How can we conserve energy? What are creative ways to use energy? Well, these are just some of the questions that some young minds ask themselves. And inside the Children's Museum, they're showing us their answers. Come on.
Sometimes kids don't want to waste their energy making an extra bike trip.
My invention is called the extra hand, and it solves the problem of only being able to bring two things to a friend's house. This part right here is the extra hand, and it hooks onto the back of the seat and the two back wheel axles.
Sometimes kids want to save their energy for more playtime.
At home, my mom keeps telling me to clean up the Legos, and it takes so long.
It takes forever, because Legos are like this big, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you put the magnetic tape on the Legos, and then what do you do to clean them up?
Well, you use this the magnet, and it kind of sticks to it.
Yeah. Okay, so it's like a magnetic broom.
Yeah.
You think Mom's gonna like the invention more than you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet so.
Sometimes kids want to use energy to make something beautiful.
I'm really interested in rainbows, and well, when I grew up, I just thought of rainbows a lot, and then I thought they were really, really interesting. I invented the rainbow slaster.
What is the rainbow slaster?
It's a machine that creates a rainbow.
How does it work?
Well, the sun gives the solar beam the power to pump the water pump to make the pump going, and then the water comes out from this little hole, shoots out to the sun, and then a rainbow.
So this is something that people can put in their backyards?
Yeah.
And see a rainbow all the time?
Mm-hmm.
You're like a modern day Rainbow Bright, DeeAnn.
And sometimes, kids want to help save on mom and dad's energy bill.
It's called a thermal sensor. When you step toward the invention, it starts to turn on.
How does it happen?
Well, that's because we have a motion sensor right here.
I wish I came up with something like this at 9 years old. This is amazing. Give me a high five. I'm so excited for you.
Yes.
Today, these children are among 170 applicants who are competing in the 24th Annual Young Inventors Showcase.
This is for kindergarten all the way up through 8th grade, because anyone can be an inventor. This is about true learning, true application. This is what it comes down to. This is the problem they have to solve.
During the drought, millions of trees died, and some of them are hundreds of years old, and we want them to continue to live.
They have to do their own research. They have to learn about the background behind this problem. They have to figure out how to engineer their projects. They have to figure out the mathematics behind it, and they have to write about it. So it's also multidisciplinary.
I have a water truck here, and they get water from ponds, lakes, fire hydrants, lots of stuff. It has a pipe kind of like this, and it goes to tank 1. Tank 1 overflows to tank 2. Tank 2 overflows to tank 3, and on and on and on for how many tanks you have. It drips. It doesn't flow out because if it flows out, the ground doesn't have time to soak it up.
This is real life.
The students also determine a marketing plan for their invention.
So it would be between the 200 and the 300. It's going to start increasing, or if I want to make it better, they say it's really good. This is a good thing to use.
I'm sure they're going to.
Yeah, and then so if it's a higher price, it's going to be the same. It's going to work the same, and then they're going to say, okay, I need this.
Yeah,
You're going to need this.
Say, I need this.
All these kids are competing for the grand prize, and the grand prize is the really cool thing. There's first, second, third place, but the grand prize is a fully paid for patent process. If they get that patent, they can then in turn either sell their invention to another company, or they can try to produce it themselves.
The volunteer judges today have their work cut out for them.
For me, I look for originality and creativity. You know, is it an original idea? And how much did they actually work on this project?
This takes kids outside of their normal daily lives. It lets them think about how to innovate, what's value, and how to take that idea from concept into making it something that they can bring to market and actually make a business out of.
And they've also created something, and making things is at the heart of what America is.
Sold.
One of the biggest supporters of Energy Day 2012 is the University of Houston. Not only is it a leader in trying to address the world's energy challenges, but also it's an incubator for the great innovators of tomorrow. Behind every great invention, there's a story.
After Hurricane Ike, literally the next day, it was a beautiful, crystal clear blue sky. We had no electricity. We had a neighbor nearby who had a diesel generator that was making a lot of noise, keeping the kids awake at night, and it just wasn't very comfortable. My wife asked me to do something a little bit more practical than do my research, and make a device that could actually give us energy.
Curran, a professor of physics at the University of Houston, was just one of more than 2 million Houstonians left without power in the aftermath of Hurricane Ike.
Well, the problem when we lose electricity is you can't communicate. Cell towers go down, the grid is down. You can't talk to anybody to find out where the emergency services are, where you can find food, water, medical supplies. So you change your society from a first world to a third world country overnight without electricity. Every job that you see in the city requires electricity to operate. Without that electricity, you've got nothing.
After 4 years of research and field testing, his solution?
So I built the Storm Cell, a portable solar generator. So it's a 24-hour-a-day system.
The Storm Cell is an off-grid transportable energy generator built with solar panels. It charges a backup battery that can run day or night.
It's very easy to push in and out. And there's 6 panels in total, another range of panels here. And so when this is fully deployed, you can see there's a large surface area that captures a large amount of sun. A lot of people are going to switch to solar. It's inevitable. In the same way that people never thought of having a home computer in the 1990s, it is now standard. So we will make this gradual change over the next 2 decades. Do you compare this to a diesel generator that generates the same kind of power? In a year and a half, this has now matched the same kind of money you spend on a diesel generator. However, the diesel generator is going to be replaced after 3 years. This is going to be replaced after 25 years. Right on top of these silicon solar panels is glass. Glass gets dirty. You have to keep it clean.
What makes this design so unique is in the protective coating.
This is an untreated panel. This is what you'd expect when you see a rainy surface. When you compare it to this is the silicon one. It can actually suck up the dirt, so the water acts like a vacuum and pulls the dirt along and keeps it clean. Self-cleaning. It actually just takes away all the dirt and dust.
Professor Curran says nano coating will soon be used in our everyday lives, from the clothing in our closets to the carpet in our homes.
You're seeing actually an exclusive. We haven't demonstrated this to anybody else yet. Water cannot stick to the surface of it. It'll actually roll off like a ball. So instead of wetting the surface, it actually just flows off the surface. So if you could imagine a wine stain on a suit or on some tie, instead of actually sitting on your tie, it could just wash straight off. There is less washing involved in your clothing. The clothing lasts a lot longer simply because the dyes don't come off and not washed off. They're protected by the nano coating. So economically, it's a lot more efficient for you.
These cutting-edge technologies are just a few ways the University of Houston is leading the nation with groundbreaking energy research for our future.
The goal of this room is to create very high-quality crystals. We can actually tailor the electronic properties to a desired target and essentially fabricate a solar cell that's far more sensitive to the sunlight than the one that will be fabricated with the traditional materials that are provided by Mother Nature.
Well, University of Houston is engaged in a variety of different disciplines or fields in terms of energy. We of course do a lot in research. We do a lot in terms of educational programming. We are also doing a lot in terms of commercialization of technologies. We are building an energy research park, and that park will provide a point of connection for the academic sector, the public sector, and the private sector to come together. I think we are doing a whole lot of work, and we just want people to know that University of Houston is serious. It is a university in the energy capital of the world, and it is doing its part to play a very important role.
For more information on the University of Houston and to check out these technology tools of tomorrow, stop by Energy Day 2012, Saturday, October 20th.
Brought to you by Consumer Energy Alliance and the University of Houston.
What exactly will Houston look like in the year 2050? That's the question posed to dozens of local students. And as Kat Cosley now tells us, those students were not only asked to think about the future, they were asked to design it.
So the winner this year of Energy City of the Future 2050 middle school competition goes to team number 10 from the Village School. This is Kaipo Energy.
So what is the Energy City of the Future competition, and exactly what does it take to win? We're gonna go find out.
So this is our vision for Houston in 2050. All these roads here are not outlined with asphalt, but instead with solar panels.
For the past 11 weeks, 44 students from different schools across the city worked diligently.
Here we have wind turbines, which would go in the highways,
creating these elaborate projects.
We don't have like any roads or anything because we're thinking more like a green city without any cars or anything like that.
Students are grouped together by school in 11 teams of 4.
What we do is we design a challenge for them. We talk about the main industries inside of Houston, and it's geared so that middle school students, high school students can participate, and they're challenged to understand energy, the different forms of energy, and how they interact inside of a city to make it run.
Here we have Energy Elementary. It has greenery on the top, so in the winter it insulates heat. There are the rock wall, basketball courts, and the swings. They will have kinetic mats under them, so if they run, jog, slam dunk, swing, they will collect energy and it will be used on the school.
And as you can see, they were pretty creative with their inventions.
We had a bunch of recycled stuff, so we just kind of like started stacking things and trying to make buildings, and we used bottle caps as our bicycle racks. I mean, I thought that it was nice being creative and stuff.
Judges, are you ready?
So you have a greenhouse here. What is this area?
This is like where the apartments and stuff is like.
Students were judged not only on their model scales, but 2 additional components.
Houston Energy City of the Future 2050, where everything is green, gray, and gorgeous.
A PowerPoint presentation,
Crude oil, nuclear, liquefied natural gas,
and a public service announcement.
We picture a better Houston for the future.
And while they are all winners, only 2 teams could take the title and scholarship reward money. Both middle and high school winners were from the Village School.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You have to be so excited. What are you going to do with the money?
Save it.
Talk to me a little bit about your model. What are we seeing here?
This is Houston in 2050. We're trying to make Houston a more environmentally clean and self-sufficient place for people to live.
In 2050, we would like to implement a magnetic levitation train.
Some of the main sources of energy that we have are liquefied natural gas and solar power.
Why is this event so important to you guys?
Houston, if we keep going on like this, then pollution is really going to start affecting our lives and really making it difficult just in general. So this kind of gets us thinking about what we can do once we're old enough to do something.
And that, organizers say, is really the crux of it all.
Kids can start to see the application towards their future and what they would study in college. We're here on a college campus today. They toured the classrooms. They're starting to connect those dots between why is it important to learn these math and sciences.
What's next? Get some sleep?
Yes.
Oh yeah, this was completely an after-school project. A lot of time and energy, but certainly for the betterment of our city and its future. And don't forget, winning students will receive awards and have their cities on display at this year's Energy Day Festival Saturday in front of City Hall. I'm Kat Cosley.
Yes, children are the future of energy.
There is somebody out there who is going to find the next big solution to our energy problem. We don't know where that child is right now, but we certainly want to do whatever possible to provide the environment for that child to think innovatively.
An environment like Energy Day 2012. For more information, just go to energydayfestival.org or our website, abc13.com. I'm Tom Abrams. Thanks for joining us.